Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Robocop 2. There's two of them? Robocop. Never actually seen it myself. Yeah, I'm not really a big movie guy, so I have never seen the Robocop movies. But to be honest, I get the sense that the many video games of Robocop also didn't see the movie because they didn't need to. All they had to do was make a game where a robotic cop walks to the right and shoots bad guys, and boom, it was a tie-in game. We've seen two Robocop games already on Game Boy Roulette, Robocop 1 and Robocop vs. Terminator, and both of them followed that exact formula to varying degrees of quality. And incidentally, both mainline Robocop games on the Game Boy were licensed by Ocean Software, who really had their hands in every licensed game from that era. But this is a case where the developer is a much more interesting story, Painting by Numbers. This was a British developer who only existed for 3 years and made 8 games exclusively for Ocean Software. So why is that interesting? Because this was a story that repeated itself so much. The British development scene was far different than the American one, what with the numerous gaming computers that were released overseas. And while some of those companies like Bullfrog Productions, DMA Design, and Team 17 will go on to big things, there were far more who only existed during that early 90s boom and then faded away. I find that really interesting. It's a lot like an early look at what the indie scene would become, although in the case of Painting by Numbers, I think we already know how it turned out. I don't think anyone was buying their NES Darkman game. Something about this box art makes me laugh. I think it's the big, ridiculous helmet combined with the extremely prominent lips. In fact, I think that's why I've never bothered to see Robocop. The design has always looked so comedically clunky to me that I could never take it seriously. I'm guessing we're in for another side-scroller. Dead or alive, we're checking out Robocop 2. Oh yeah. Man, so many games had that wavy effect, and it always looks awesome. There he is. Robocop 2. Okay. With the gun and the flying, shells, this kinda rules. Alright, let's see how robotic this cop can be. Officer Akba 1. A disturbance by Kane's gang has been reported. They have control of an ED-209 unit. You must disable it. I have no clue if this is related to the movie or it's just something they made up themselves. Hey, it's a side-scroller. Who would have thought it? Are you hiding in the fire hydrant? Hi. You can only shoot forward. Oh, probably shouldn't have shot that person in the face. Wait, one hit? Uh-oh. Well, at least this time I'll have a chance to not shoot that person. Oh, I shot them. Okay, we do have a health bar. I guess just that barrel is one hit. Alright, this time I saved them by headbutting them. The movement is really slow. And I think that's a gimmick of Robocop, but also, like, disappointing for a video game. I'm just gonna keep moving to the right and hope everything works out okay. Oh, the jumping. Not great. My one weakness, barrel. We did it. I shot another hostage. So I'm getting vibes of the Superman game, where it's very hard to avoid taking damage. Very hard to avoid taking damage. Oh, the jumping is delayed. I've certainly played worse games than this, but this one is not making a very good case for itself. Alright, we got a little extra health. Ooh, yeah. Oh, the jumping. It feels like you have to really hold the controller to move. It is not smooth jumping at all. So far, it's very I don't know. It feels like the kind of game you've played a bunch before. Better versions of. But worse versions too. Oh, I got shot and ended the level. Nuke smugglers? Well, a little nuke smuggling's okay. Oh! It's you. I think I've seen you. Oh, there's an actual health bar down there. I don't mind this. Again, these games, anytime they can break up the monotony a little bit, goes a long way. It's like a Cuphead fight. Boom. And now it moonwalks away like a coward. You're experiencing psychological interference. Oh, shoot. Must look at source by searching your memory. Oh, God, what is this gonna be? Is this gonna be like a surreal level? What? Oh, I am begging you, no. Ah, damn it. I'm not gonna directly hold it against this game. I am a big proponent of having stuff in the game to break up the monotony. But I cannot put into words how much I hate sliding tile puzzles. You know you are still part human. You gained 2 extra lives. Oh! Okay, so you gained something out of it. Battle your way through the nuke factory. Kane is believed to be in the vicinity. Was there a character in the movie named Kane? Or is this a custom story? Didn't I already rescue you and 50 of your brothers? Hang on. I want to check. It is based on the movie. Like, the plot and everything. Also, I discovered the game's about half an hour long. Which, I can't... Oh, goodbye. Can't hold it too much against the game. I think my biggest problem is just how slow it plays. But again, not as slow... Whoa, that was a springy thingy. Not as slow and not as bad as others I've played. Like I said, oh god, the jumping. It's checking all the boxes. It's just not really doing anything particularly well. Good music, though, and it looks nice. But gameplay-wise, it's very generic. What? What is happening? That's kind of crap. Robocop has failed to stop the spread of nuke, but we'll try again. Wait, continue. Okay, good. Okay, so it is a difficult game too, but the continues are there. Those kill you in one hit? Okay, I was gonna say this is one of those reviews that's gonna be a bit wishy-washy, but I would say this game... Oh, I can go down here. That's way easier. I would say this game does a little more bad than good. I slipped off the edge there. Yeah, it's just not very great. It's fine, ... question mark. But again, there's so many better platformers out there. Since after all, it's a short sit, 30 minutes, you're not doing much. All right, is this gonna work this time? No, it's not, so that just auto-kills you. I don't know. I'm sure there's a better Robocop game out there. In fact, I think we've played one already. At this point, I just assume the Robocop movies are also nothing but walking to the right and shooting. It's interesting that both this game and the first Robocop Game Boy game were incredibly similar. Walk to the right, shoot, and with something in between each level to break up the standard gameplay. And it's also interesting that neither one of them was that good. Although between the two, this is definitely the better one, but not by much. The main issue with the game was the slow controls and gameplay. Walking was slow, jumping was slow, shooting was slow. It was all like the game was being played through molasses. And yes, that's kind of Robocop's gimmick from what I understand, but it doesn't necessarily make for a fun platformer. In fact, I think the best way to describe the issues with this game is that it does do what it needs to, but it does nothing particularly well. There's standard platforming, but it's slow and not very fun. They break up the monotony with some puzzles between levels, but it's just a generic sliding tile puzzle. The boss fight was fun. Okay, I actually don't have much negative to say about that boss fight. That was fun. But I guess that was balanced by how confusing the second stage was, where a random crane would come down and kill me when it felt like it. There wasn't anything that made me want to quit the game in frustration, but I also didn't really see a reason to keep going. I think I got a good sense of what the rest of the game was going to be like pretty quickly. So once again, Robocop has a swing and a miss on the Game Boy, leaving Robocop vs. Terminator as the only good handheld game. It's certainly not the worst platformer out there, but it's just not one you should go out of your way to play. Boss fight was fun though. Seriously, a Cuphead Robocop crossover game would be excellent. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.